Hey there, everyone, and welcome to round 2 of Focus Friday. I am your health and wellness coach, Carrie Donahue. Again, full disclaimer, I am not a doctor, nutritionist, psychologist, psychiatrist, any of those things. So if you need that level of professional help, please, by all means, do not seek my advice. Seek the advice of those professionals. I am, however, someone who has been through quite a number of transformations myself in quite a number of different ways. And I am here to coach you through your health and wellness journey, maybe even your coaching journey, to go where I have gone and beyond. And I'm just sharing with you all of the tips and tricks that I myself have learned about, heard about, read about, and have used and tried and perfected, possibly, if there is a such thing as perfection. There isn't, but certainly learned along the way what works and what doesn't work for me, and can help guide you to what works and what doesn't work for you. So that being said, let's move right along. So last week, I believe it was more of a introduction on focus and how important it is. I had written a post. I felt very strongly about it. I was certainly was in the midst of listening to a book that was very much on focus, and then said that, the next few Focus Fridays would be giving you actual tools that you could use to switch your focus from what's not serving you to a focus that's going to get you where you want to go. So today I'm going to take it back to things that I've already mentioned, but maybe not necessarily specifically in, hey, this is going to help you with your focus, because as I talked about last week, focus is, and I'll just briefly talk about it right now. Focus is very important, you guys. Okay. Have you ever been driving in a car and your focus is on the road in front of you and where you want to go? And then you see something on the side of the road that pulls your focus to it, and find that your steering wheel your whole car starts to go that direction. Have you ever had that happen to you guys? Think of the ballerina who's able to do pirouettes over and over and over again because she focuses on one spot out in past the audience, actually. And she flips her head around. She holds that focus as her body spins, and then she flips her head around and focuses on it again so her body can spin again so that she can stay upright. If she didn't have that, if her focus was constantly shifting, her equilibrium would get out of balance and she'd fall down. Okay? She has to have focus, or else she's not going to be able to do what she's trying to do. She's not going to be able to stay up on that foot, spinning around at the speed of light. At least that's what it looks like. Any number of other examples. For whatever reason, they're not coming to me right now. But things that you need focus, when you shift your focus, you end up off track, okay? It as severely in a car, as severely as getting yourself into an accident. And we don't want that to happen. So in life, it's the same way. In your health journey, in your wellness journey, in your business building journey, you need to have the focus that's going to get you where you want to go. And if your focus is not on that, on where you're going, if your focus is on past mistakes you've had, if your focus is on what everybody else is doing around you, if your focus is somewhere other than where you're going, you are going to have a hard time. It might even be impossible to get to where you're going, where you want to go. Okay? So that could be, you're holding on to baggage from things that happened to you when you were a kid, even if it's not even health and fitness related, even if it's like, in my childhood, I said, I was invited over to a sleepover. Okay. And please don't judge me on this, because this was my, 9-year-old self. Okay. So very immature, obviously very unschooled in, proper etiquette with people. But I was invited over to a sleepover party to a friend of mine who I love dearly, who happened to live in a duplex, and I lived in a single family home. And I made the mistake of mentioning to another friend something about how small her house might be for a sleepover of 5 or 6 girls in one room. And she was offended by that. And then therefore, she got mad at me, stopped really kind of being a good, a friend of mine, because I had made the mistake of saying something to someone else about something that I had no reason. Like, I was going to go have fun with my friends. Why would I say something about the size of her house? That was a really stuck up, stupid thing to do, right? But that experience of losing sort of that friend relationship, at least to the level that it was, severely affected all kinds of things in my life. But if I continue to have that kind of baggage or focus on, those things or not deal with that stuff so that I can move on, then it's going to hold me back from getting where I want to go. I'm at some level going to feel unworthy of success in whatever that I'm doing, right? If it's success in health and fitness, and I want to be successful in being healthy and being fit, then any sort of feeling of inadequacy or unworthiness is going to greatly affect that. Because my focus is going to keep going back to I'm not worthy. Instead of focusing on what I want and feeling that I deserve to be able to have that in my life, I deserve to be able to be my best version of myself so that I can be there for my family, so that I can be there as a coach. If my focus keeps going back to this, then that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So let's just say, you're standing in front of the mirror and you're focusing on your flaws. That's certainly not going to give you the energy that you need to tackle that workout. That's going to take your mind into a dark place that's going to cause you to not want to get up and work out. Even though logically, that of course, if you're having an issue, an emotional issue with all of these things that you feel that are wrong with you, logically you could say, well, if I want to change that, then I should work out. I should eat well. I should learn about nutrition and implement it into a way where it's a lifestyle for me so that I can keep doing this for the rest of my life and not starve myself, right? Logically, that that, right? But now you're in an emotional place because your focus has shifted. And that emotional place is going to override your logic. That emotional place is going to make you feel like crap and depressed and say, I don't feel like doing anything today because obviously I suck. Okay, that focus is not going to get you where you want to go. So was a lot longer than I wanted it to be on why we need to work on focus. Here's a practical way, and I've already said it. And I told you at the beginning of this video, I've already said it. So why haven't you done it yet? What is it? It's write down what you want. Okay, find a journal, a planner, whatever it is. Just, a notebook, right? A piece of paper, a napkin, whatever it is, Post-it note, whatever you have, piece of paper and a writing utensil, pen, pencil, whatever, crayon, whatever you've got sitting around, us mamas of the world, and write down what your goal is. Write down where you want to be. Write down if there was no obstacles in your way, what would your life look like? What would your business look like? What would your body look like? What would your health look like? What would your family look like? If there was nothing holding you back from anything you wanted in your wildest dreams, what would that be? Okay? No matter how ridiculous it might seem right now, write it down. Whatever desires live in your heart. By the way, all of those desires in your heart were put there by God because He wants you to have them. He wants you to be blessed in that kind of way. It's not there if He didn't put it there. Okay? And we're not talking about weird, things that make you feel ugh. like I desire to, and then but it's like an evil desire. We're talking about good, pure, I want to help the rest of the world. I want my family to be, feel loved and abundant, and like all of those good things are there by God. Anyways, write it down, right? If you toss it aside, whatever. But the next day, get up in the morning, at least read it or write it down again. And here's the connection that happens from your brain going all the way down your arm and coming out on the piece of paper. There's some magic in that. So actually, if you write it down every single day, you are going to make some magic happen. If you're having a bad day, write it down again anyway. The act of getting it from your brain through your body and all of those billions of cells it's got to travel through until it gets out onto a piece of paper affects you. And when you constantly write it down once a day, write it down twice a day. Twice a day is twice as good. Write it down what you want. You will see a transformation start to happen. The more you do that, the more you will see start to change. The more you will get your focus where you're going. And then that's when the magic starts to happen. God starts to speak to you. God starts to show you how you can move this obstacle out of the way, and how you can move that obstacle out of the way, and how you can move this obstacle out of the way. Because you're no longer focused on the obstacles or your past or whatever. You're focused on the destination, where you're going. And he will show you how to move the other things out of the way to get to where you're going. He will help give you energy to do the things you need to do to get to where you're going. So that is my advice for today. I know it's advice I've already given you guys before, but please, you have to understand, focus is so important. So you've got to start using some tips and tricks and things to get your focus right so that you get to where you want to go. Because isn't that why we're here? To improve, to be better, to get to a better, higher place, that we can be at that higher place, that we can pull others up with us so that we can make change on a massive level in this world. Even if it's just with 10 people, that's a massive level to be able to change 10 people's lives. Okay? I feel incredibly blessed to be a part of this group where I get to help 40 or more of you change your lives. And I want to help more, but I still feel incredibly blessed. That's huge. That's huge that 40 of you have trusted me to be able to help you change your life. But if I didn't get my focus right on what I needed myself to be like, I wouldn't be able to help you. I wouldn't be able to help you. So it was incredibly important for me to get my focus right. It's incredibly important for you to get your focus right. So let's do that today. Write down your goals, write down where you want to be if there was absolutely no obstacles in your way. And I guarantee you, if you continue that practice, God will show you how to get those obstacles out of your way. It's just going to happen. Okay? So thank you guys so much for joining me on this Focus Friday. Let's put in some time. Let's put in some effort. And I'll give you a new tip or trick next Friday for how to get your focus right. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy your weekend. And I will see you guys back here actually next Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday. Bye.